spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations, exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information. Greg Bakun here. Like many of you, I still collect physical books, and not just any books, but books about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. I go to Megas Books and Herbs, located in the Arts District of Minneapolis, but books are only part of it. Megas Books and Herbs offers crystals, jewelry, herbs, oils, and consultations on how to use this stuff. Check out their in-store classes and events too. This place has everything to expand your horizons. Located at 1848 Central Avenue, Minneapolis, or visit megasbooks.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. And it is Casual Friday. Everybody, I hope that you had a good week. I hope that you made it to the end of the week. That's always the other side to it. And I hope that everything is well. Our purpose for tonight is simply this, is to help everyone ease into the weekend. Let's have some fun tonight. We always do question of the week. We also are giving away tickets tonight for the Curse of Vampire Orchestra. They're the orchestration for Nosferatu. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I want to say hello over in Eden Prairie to Adam. And Adam, how are you doing tonight?
Doing well tonight, Greg. It's a wonderful Friday evening here at the Haunted Radio Station, and can't wait to actually give those tickets away tonight. That's going to be an absolute blast, and I'm jealous to everybody who got tickets already to go to that, because that would be sweet to go piece that out.
I think it's going to be great. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, I'll get into that in a minute. But I just have to say, I mean, is it wrong for me every night, to be annoyed that for whatever reason, we're not doing weathers at the top of the hour, that we're not doing weathers going into the show anymore? I don't know why that is the case. It throws me off every single time. I want to hear the weather.
I do too. I can give you a little bit of a weather report. About 9 o'clock when I was coming in, we did get that spattering of rain down 169 South, only lasted for about 45 seconds. But hey, we got a little bit of rain near Eden Prairie.
So you got some rain tonight?
Just a little bit, but then it dried right up, and yeah, it's been quiet ever since.
See, I just missed before. It's like a good luck charm for me going into before going into the show to hear for your AM 950 weather. You know, I want to hear that. You know, I want to take that in. It's kind of like the pre-opening to the show. So
yeah. We need more Patrick.
But no. So, but I appreciate the weather report. It's probably more accurate than anything that would have been played prior to the show tonight. So there is that as well. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Like I said, we have question of the week. We're going to get to it. I think it's a fun question. I think that people really took part in, including Adam as well. And I'm not mistaken, your wife took part in it as well. So we'll hear those in a little bit. But I do want to remind folks tonight we are giving away tickets, and it's for the Curse of the Vampire Orchestra. They're going to perform a live accompaniment to the classic film Nosferatu, a symphony of horror that was originally released in 1922. The orchestra's conductor, Philip Shorey, composed the music played by the group. Through this fresh score, the film is reinterpreted with Shorey's use of classic orchestral instrumentation, industrial percussion, electronica, and a full choir. And folks, we haven't really been saying how to get tickets because there really isn't any tickets left. So if you win tonight, you're going to get tickets to something that is pretty much unavailable, and that's kind of exciting. And we're going to give those away later on the program. You're going to need to call in if you want your chance to win tickets. So we'll make sure it's very clear when we're going to do it, but we're really excited about that. And Adam, on Monday, we had Philip Shorey on the program, and he is really a font of knowledge, quite frankly. And it's not just about music and whatnot. It's also about silent films, because it's like you don't know how much people know about stuff, but his knowledge of silent films, which I love silent films, was really fun to listen to. He was great.
What impressed me the most is the fact that he's taken a 102-year-old movie and been able to rescore it just by, watching the film over and over again and getting a whole new feel and to kind of bring it into the 21st century. I think it's amazing what he's been able to do with the arrangements, with the music that he's written for it. It boggles my mind, people who can write music. I played drums in high school and through college and things like that. Never really could read a whole lot of music outside of, my drum sheets. But folks who can do that, they amaze me to no end.
And so if you have the opportunity, go check out the episode with Philip Shorey. It's from Monday, and you can find that on Spotify. You can also come over to am950radio.com, and we have all of our old episodes on there as well. But one of the things that I found very interesting about Philip also was that, Nosferatu itself, the film itself, has extreme meaning and has really had a big impact on his life. And I even asked him in the episode, how close this had such big impact to his life. How close was it for something very opposite? Because Nosferatu, pretty much all the film prints for the film were destroyed in 1922 because of legal battles with the widow of Bram Stoker, because it pretty much a ripoff of Dracula. So I find that to be like, for someone, and he's not the only one, I'm sure, who has had such close ties and love with that film and maybe been inspired by it. But I mean, just speaking to him and speaking about his passion for it, it's like, man, it could have been so different, and luckily it wasn't.
Yeah, and I didn't realize until the interview on Monday that all the prints were gone.
Yeah,
I had no clue, because everybody has seen it. That I think has ever been into any sort of vampire Dracula style movies. You've seen it, or you've at least seen portions of Nosferatu in your life if you're into these kind of movies. But the fact that every print was gone, but there was a couple that made it out, like there always are. There's always that couple that see the light of day.
Absolutely. And I think that one of my favorite things in general, whether it's TV or film, is the idea of lost film, lost television. And like you just said, how they get found in places that you would never expect, like a full version or more, pretty much a full version of Metropolis being found in Argentina, I think back in 2011 or something like that. That stuff is pretty incredible. Now, breaking news in the weather community, Carol has just said that she just saw the weather. She says it's 72 on Saturday. I should for a look at your AM 950 weather. It's 72 on Saturday and 80 on Sunday, and tonight it's now 66. How was that?
That works, but now you got to follow up with an Eat Local spot.
Right,
So,
right.
can you?
Maverick.
I was going to say, do you remember your Mavericks read? Can you do that one live?
It's like, well, for the best roast beef in Minnesota, go to Mavericks.
There you go.
Am I going to be fired about this? I mean, that's really. I mean, because it's lovingly an impersonation, but am I crossing the line, Adam, between impersonation and just horrible parody? I don't really know. It's really only for my boss to tell me, I guess. Really, at the end of the day.
Oh, by the way, don't forget to join us Monday for GhostBox Radio with Adam Wettrick.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Greg. That was Chad. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Sorry, buddy.
Now, of course, your visual is great for the 4 people watching on our stream, but the thousands listening, they didn't quite see you on the phone answering it, the whole shtick.
Well, I don't have sound effects over here to go ring, 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 instead of doing that.
It's only because we don't have a morning zoo that could have on Stinger all these sound effects and stuff.
Oh, thank Christ. I used to work one of those. I'm so glad we don't have a morning zoo soundboard.
Carol, we appreciate the weather update as always. Really, I mean, if my station's not going to give it to us, then someone needs to. So also, just going to point out, this coming Sunday, I'm going to be down in Winona. I'm going to be over at Refined Divine Psychic Medium. She has a fair. It's the Refined Divine Psychic and Holistic Healing Expo. That's going to be at Signatures Restaurant in Winona. That's 22852 County Road 17, Winona. And that's October 20th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it's going to be a great day. I'm really excited about it. The last time I was at one of her fairs and I spoke at that fair. I'm spoking. See, this is going to be good. I'm spoking at this one as well. I really do think I'm spoken. And I'm speaking on Sunday as well. And I'm not quite sure what we're talking about yet, but it's going to be fun. A lot of great practitioners, a lot of great fun. So please, if you're thinking about taking a nice ride, or if you're in the Winona area, please come out, say hello. Definitely check out the practitioners that are going to be there. Plus, there's a lot of great speakers throughout the day. And one of them, of course, is going to be, Refined Divine is going to be doing a gallery, and that's going to be at noon. And so if you've been listening to this program and you've been listening to how much she helps people, definitely come out there, check it out, say hi. And I'll just be doing probably one of my presentations where I'm going to be sharing some recordings that I've gotten through the years that I've taken and investigations that I've been on. And we're just going to have a great time. So that's exciting. But if that isn't enough,
there's more.
There's more. Wait, there's more. So first of all, you got to make sure that you come out on Sunday to Winona. But don't forget, we are now less than 2 weeks away from our big Halloween spectacular on AM 950. And, last year, 3 hours apparently wasn't enough. So we are now doing 4 hours. We're going to be going 7 to 11 on October 31st. And just say that, you know what? I wish that wherever they're broadcasting from, I could be there too. Well, you can. It's going to be over at the 300 Clifton Mansion. So if you want to spend Halloween at a haunted mansion, I mean, who wouldn't want to? I mean, that would be amazing. Adam's going to be spending it at a haunted radio station. But, I can imagine that if you weren't, you'd probably see about coming out to the haunted mansion. I would assume, maybe not.
Somebody's got to drive the car while you're out having, a cool investigation for 4 hours at a beautiful mansion.
And you can say firsthand how beautiful it is because you've been there.
Oh my God, that is gorgeous. It is absolutely wonderful. Folks, do yourselves a favor. Even if you can't make it out for the Halloween, hit up the trolley tours, because you also get to see a little bit of that mansion. And oh my goodness, is that thing beautiful.
And also on Halloween, they're doing trolley tours. They're doing psychic readings. They're doing taking part in our paranormal investigation. It's all ticketed. You can have a general pass, which is a graveyard pass. You can also do trolley tours, psychic reading, join in our investigation. Go over to minneapolistrolleytours.com. It's on the main page, but it's also minneapolistrolleytours.com. Halloween. Geez, this is going to be something. And on the broadcast side of it, we're going to be doing investigations. We're going to have no one else, unless you got tickets to do so, are going to go up with Char Savoy and some of our wonderful investigators upstairs in the mansion. I saw that place for the first time this week, upstairs beyond the main level. Holy cow, that's a beautiful house. My God. It's like, where have you been hiding all this? So we're going to be, well, they are going to be, I'm going to be in the carriage house doing the broadcast, which is wonderful. I'm excited about that, but they're going to be upstairs. They're going to be investigating. Going to have live cameras up there for people to see. And also, if you're at the mansion for the festivities in general, we'll have a screen with them doing their investigation. You could watch from the carriage house as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. If that's not all, because we're just not done giving yet, because that's the Halloween spirit, apparently, is that we are going to also be doing a special episode of my Thursday night show that I'm a part of called Myth or Mystery. It's a paranormal panel show, which is a lot of fun, and that also gives the investigators a little break as well, or they can investigate and break in and tell us what's been going on. And then we have a guy by the name of Ghost Inspector Greg, not to be confused with GhostBox Greg, but Ghost Inspector Greg, as he is going to be in Hollywood. Originally, he was going to be over at the Forever Hollywood Cemetery, and that changed a little bit. So he's trying to find a place to go to. It's going to be a lot of fun. I suggested Adam, and I don't know. I feel like irresponsible to suggest this. I said, "Can you get into the Cecil?"
Oh my God, that was the first thing that popped in my head.
Can you get into the Cecil? And they're like, well, it's pretty bad over there. I'm like, can you get into the Cecil? Just, can you answer my question, please? No, I mean, that would be something amazing, but I don't expect it at all. And but it's like, well, if you're gonna ask the question, I'm going to give a suggestion. It doesn't mean you have to follow it, but it's a suggestion all the same. But I mean, there's so many great places.
I mean, you can do the Black Dahlia house.
You can do Black Dahlia House.
The Hollywood sign.
Well, see, if you can get it close enough, yeah, that was another one I was thinking of, seeing if we can get N-Whistle to come through. And then the Roosevelt Hotel, ground it's not I forget the name of the Chinese theater now, because it's still not Grauman's, right? It's a different one. It's a different name now, isn't it? Or
and I can't remember, because it was that group of directors who bought it. So it was like James Gunn and Joss Whedon and a bunch of other directors went in and bought the theater. And no, I think they did keep the same name.
Oh, they did, because they're just trying to save it, basically, right? They're just
it's the one big theater house, the original one on Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah,
I'll tell you. Have you ever been there?
No, but I want to.
It's small.
Yeah.
Once you actually get there, you're like, whoa, this is pretty compact. And it's just amazing how it's just on the corner of the street. I mean, it's like, well, where else is it going to be, Greg? But, you get my drift. It's like, you're just like, there's another building right by it, and you're just walking, oh, there it is. But here's the thing. When I was there, last time I was there was, I think you've seen these before, that there's these people who are dressed up as superheroes or Frankenstein. They're not part of any studio. They just have a costume, and they are going over there and to get pictures taken and stuff. And because then what happens is you get their picture taken with them, and they suggest you give them a tip. I went over there. I went there with us for a work thing, and I was working with a vendor for television distribution, and they took us on some sightseeing. We went out there, and there was this like brown Spider-Man, and he's just like, come on over. And I'm like, no. And they're like pushing me over. The people who I went with are like, yeah, get your picture taken with brown Spider-Man. And so I'm going over there, and he puts his arm around me, and they're taking pictures of me, and I'm clearly hating it. So I'm just sitting there, and they're, taking pictures, the vendors, and they're done. They walk away, and he's just like, yeah, what normally how this works is like, if you want to, you can give me a tip or something. I'm like, no, I don't want to. And he's just like, well, I mean, you don't have to, but it's something that they do sometimes if you want to. And I'm like, no, I really don't want to. And my thought behind this was because I didn't want my picture taken anyway. I didn't want to be there. Let the people who took the picture give you a tip or whatever. And so I'm like, no, that's okay. And I walk away. And as I'm walking away, I can hear Brown Spider-Man say, what a effing dick. So
what I was expecting is, he pulls off his mask and it's Tobey Maguire looking for work.
You never be surprised, though. I mean, especially at Comic-Con. Not that we were at Comic-Con, but that's the sort of thing that you run into is like, Robert Downey Jr. is dressed as something else the whole weekend and no one knows, that sort of thing. But no, Brown Spider-Man was very upset with me. So that's how that works. Folks, this is your night as well. Give us a call, 952-946-6205. Let us know what you on your mind. Do you want to ask any questions or start any conversations in the comments? Let us know. It's your night. Otherwise, we're going to get on to when we come back, we're going to do the question of the week. And basically, the question of the week, which is kind of fun, I think, is simply this. Vampires have been in books, films, musical, folklore, etc. What is your favorite vampire? And if it's Dracula, who's your favorite person who played him? We got a lot of responses to it. If you want to add your response to it, then please do so, and we'll get to that. So we're going to do that. We'll take a break, come back, do question of the week, and anything else on your mind. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search metamorphosisconnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on metamorphosisconnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting metamorphosisconnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's metamorphosisconnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
Twin Cities Con returns to the Minneapolis Convention Center for the 4th year, November 8th through 10th. Twin Cities Con is a celebration of comics, toys, TV, film, art, cosplay, games, and all things nerdy. There is nothing like Twin Cities Con. It's also a family-friendly event where you can meet your favorite celebrities, browse the vendor hall and artist alley for the coolest merch, watch celebrity Q&As, and even more. Twin Cities Con is bigger and better than ever before. Come see from Star Wars, the Emperor himself, Ian McDermott, along with Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, John DiMaggio, who is Bender from Futurama, WWE Hall of Fame wrestler Sting, and Sunday only Grant Gustin from The Flash and Glee, plus more guests to be announced. 3 days of action-packed fun is in the heart of Minneapolis at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Tickets start at $40. Kids tickets are just $8 for the entire weekend. VIP tickets also available, including a 3-day weekend pass, plus some really cool VIP perks. Buy your tickets and get more information at TwinCitiesCon.com. Greg Bakun here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And it is Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio. Thank you for joining us as we ease into the weekend. I hope you all had a good week as we are winding down. And some of us are not winding down, though, are we? And I do want to make sure people know, because we talked about on Sunday, I'm going to be out in Winona doing the Refined Divine Psychic Healing Fair, and I'm really excited about it. But I also want to let everyone know that Refined Divine is also going to be at the Holistic Healing and Wellness Fair in Hudson, Wisconsin. That is tomorrow. That's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I know that she had an event today. She has one tomorrow. She has one Sunday. What a schedule, huh? It's located at the Hudson Middle School, 1300 Carmichael Road, Hudson, Wisconsin, 54016. I know 1300 Carmichael Road very well, or at least Carmichael Road. It's a $5 entry fee, gift bags to the first 25 guests. Please come out and see her. She is going to be doing a group psychic medium reading with crystal sound bowls. It's going to be great. A lot of people there that I know, Nancy Radin, she did some incredible healing on me. She's going to be there, and she's going to be speaking tomorrow as well. So, originally I said just come out to Winona. Now I need you to go out to both Hudson and Winona. I will accept nothing less than seeing you at both, my friends. So it's going to be a great weekend, and I'm excited. I'm excited for Deb and Dave for tomorrow, and I'm excited to see them for this weekend for the events in Winona. So a lot of good stuff coming up, Adam. It's going to be a lot of fun for sure.
'Tis the busiest time of the year for folks like you.
It is, and it's fun, and I think we're gonna keep the vibe going. And I mean, because even with our Halloween thing on Friday, November 1st, I'm going to be doing just a small event over at Rogue Buddha Gallery in Minneapolis, and we're going to talk more about that as we get closer, because we don't want to fatigue everybody with all this stuff going on. We are going to be giving away tickets for the Curse of Vampire Orchestra. They perform a live accompaniment to the classic film Nosferatu, a symphony of horror from 1922. We're going to get to that at the end of this segment. In the meantime, why don't we get the question of the week, huh? That's what I'm thinking. Let's check that out and see what everyone had to say. I think this is kind of fun. And the reason why I picked this is because we are talking about Nosferatu. We are, as Adam said, 'tis the season. So, so the question had been, vampires have been in books, films, musicals, folklore, etc. Who is your favorite vampire? And if it is Dracula, who is your favorite person to have played him? And Adam, why don't you go first? Let us know who because you did answer it. Why don't you tell us who that was for you?
Well, by the time I had hopped on there, someone already put my poll, and that was Bartleby from Dark Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love Dark Shadows. Watched the syndication with my mom.
Yep.
However, since that one was already taken, I went with Tom Cruise's portrayal of Lestat de la Lioncourt in Interview with a Vampire. Absolutely loved his portrayal of that character. To me, I went to the theater 5 times and saw that flick.
It is one of the best films of all time, I think.
I loved that movie to an insane extent. But then I also went with the comedy aspect of it. Mr. Burns in Treehouse of Horror 4. That is my favorite segment of all the Treehouse of Horrors, is the Dracula segment in number 4.
It's going back to Interview with a Vampire. I remember that Anne Rice was so against Tom Cruise being cast in that role, and that we thought, and everyone, I just was like, what are they thinking? And he puts in probably, I think, one of his ultimate best performances of his career.
Oh yeah, it is my favorite. Oh yeah, it is my favorite Tom Cruise performance in anything.
Yeah, very much so. It's so beautiful. It's so haunting. Can be grotesque. It can be so many things, and it's just wonderful. And I think that's a fantastic choice, as it happens. And I think because, like, when I put that question out, people were answering like right away. Like Shannon had said to your question, to your original answer, Barnabas Collins. Barnabas is truly one of the great vampires in media, and yeah, I don't know if a lot of people know who he is anymore. I wonder if we're getting too far from that, because Dark Shadows isn't really a property that has been explored a whole lot. So
yeah, there was this small reboot in the mid '90s, and that was about it. And I
and
think
then
it only lasted a season.
and then also the Johnny Depp movie.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. And there's a reason.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. I mean, here's the thing about that is that, to me, that the thing is that maybe Dark Shadows could be corny only because it was a 1960s soap opera originally, and they had to do their production was very rigid to do this every single day for 5 years.
Mhm.
But the film, the film was a bit more camp than I would ever like to see Dark Shadows be, and maybe I just misunderstand Dark Shadows. You know what I mean? I just don't.
Nobody understands Tim Burton and Johnny Depp when they're together. So no, I'm sure you're in the majority with that one.
Yeah. So let's see. Going to our comments, Stacy says my favorite vampire is Celine from the Underworld movies. She is a badass.
Yeah,
I don't know those films. I mean, that's too surprising, I guess. But
I've seen a couple of them. Yeah, the Underworld flicks are actually really cool.
And then Deb and Dave, Dave, love Adam Sandler in Transylvania.
And that's why you start the sentence with "I, Dave" when you say anything with Adam Sandler. I love you, Dave. I'm kidding.
So I suppose because we don't know who out of the two is speaking when they're answering, would be my guess.
Yeah.
Alicia, I haven't seen Alicia in a long time. I think Dominic Purcell in Blade Trinity, he was badass and ruthless.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's cool. And then let's see, Deb and Dave. I'm assuming this is Dave again, because we're talking about great Tom Cruise performances, and he's like, "Days of Thunder, man, come on!" No, you come on.
Come on, Michael Rooker was best in that as Rowdy Burns.
I'll tell you though, I've never seen. Not that we're talking about Top Gun. I've never seen Top Gun though.
I saw the first one.
I've never even seen that one.
And yeah, this isn't much.
No, I didn't really
in like '88. It was awesome, but I don't think it would hold up in 2024.
No, absolutely. Alicia also says that when we're talking about Tim Burton and Johnny Depp, she's like, I love Tim and Johnny. She knows him well enough to call him Tim. Well, that is his name. I thought for some reason he's going under Timothy. This is why Fridays get kind of loose. Let's see here. So let's go and see what some of the other folks are saying. Denise Pack says Dracula, Gary Oldman version of Dracula, which is fine, but that kind of ties into your Mr. Burns, because that's the version that was done on The Simpsons, was the Gary Oldman Dracula. So this is more in my line. Susan says Christopher Lee as Dracula. I'm all about the Hammer films. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm at. So those are good. I should watch one tonight. Let's see, what else do we have here? Bradley says, I actually really liked Luke Evans and Dracula Untold, and we're going to have a number of people actually say that tonight. I thought it was super unique spin on the story, and I know many may disagree. I don't know. We got a few that said that tonight as well. I haven't seen it myself. Have you?
No, I haven't. I had never even heard of the flick.
I haven't either. So let's see here. A couple of hellos. Especially when you're out of the country, we always have to say hello. Jenny says, good morning from Ireland. Good morning.
Ireland would be so much fun. I would love to visit there.
Well, then do so.
I will one of these days.
Because I not to speak for Jenny, but if we were able to get down there, it's not down there. This is a rough night for me, clearly. If we're able to get over there, we would be able to, I'm sure Jenny would be able to help us find some locations to investigate. She's quite wonderful. So
that would be amazing.
Not to speak for her. Alicia also has not seen any of the Top Guns. So you've seen one, but it's forgettable, you say. I think you have to be of a certain age also for that to kind of stick. Like
I was
Like,
like 8 when the first one came out, so
I mean, and do you think that's the right age? Because I'm thinking like my sister, who would have been like 16 or so when it came out, I think, and she was all about it, and she was all about Tom Cruise. So, yeah,
well, up until I was like 10, my favorite movie was Lost Boys.
which gets mentioned in this as well. So yeah, let's see here. Let's see. Jill says, "Oh yeah, I love Angel from Buffy the Vampire Slayer in series and his spinoff in it from Angel series. Yeah, absolutely, very much so. She is all about Blade as well. And let's see here. Other people, Angel rocked. Annette can feel my pain. She says words are hard, and they really are tonight. So I appreciate that. Let's see here. Jenny follows up with what we said earlier. She says Bram Stoker originated from Ireland, and yes, I have many locations in Ireland. Leap Castle, Hellfire Club, Wicklow Jail, you name it. So I will name it, and I want to go. So yeah.
Yeah, Hellfire Club. I would only go with someone like you, or since Jenny is familiar with the area, that's a place I wouldn't go without trusted folks. If any of that folklore is legit, I want nothing to do with that unless I'm with someone like you, Greg.
Well, and Jenny as well. Jenny will not lead anyone astray. So yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those places where it's like I would love to visit, but I want to be with someone who knows what they're doing.
Well, and Chad and I had just very casual conversations about how can we get like some kind of tour overseas going, you know, to go to places like this. So I think we all need to have a conversation. Let's see here. And that says that she also loves Lost Boys, you know, one I have not seen as well. It might be easier to say what I have seen opposed to what I haven't seen.
If it's in black and white and done by Universal in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, you've seen it.
I've seen it. I've been there then. Yeah, I've watched those. It's just if it's something that was made like post 1943, I don't, sorry, I've never heard of what's this, you know, what's this? I don't even know. James Bond you've been talking about. I've never heard of any of this. Let's see here. What else we got here going on with our questions? We got people, you know, joining in our conversation tonight. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see here. Danielle says Spike from Buffy. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Spike. I liked him. He was fun.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer comes from a time in the 90s when these without those shows in the 90s, we wouldn't have the shows we have on today. We wouldn't have on the way that genre has really exploded, because it's like shows like that, Babylon 5, X-Files, you know, they were the ones that they were gaining popularity, but they weren't completely mainstream like a lot of this stuff is now. So yeah, very cool.
Because those were on like what is now the CW. I think they were the WB back then, or like
the WB that did Buffy.
Whatever. Yeah. My TV was constantly on that in those teenage years.
Very much so. I believe it. And like a night like tonight, when like popular kids would be going out and partying and stuff, I'd be watching X-Files.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I would want to believe with Mulder and Scully every Friday.
I remember, and because you all know I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and in 1996 was the TV movie that Fox Network put out. And I remember the first time in January of 1996, the movie aired in May. In January 1996, they aired I don't even think it was a 10-second promo. I think it was like a 5-second promo for the film. And I stayed, I was wired for the weekend because of, my God, Doctor Who on Fox. Oh my God. Oh, you know, just blew me away. It was so incredible. So yeah. Jill says that, I watched all the reruns of Buffy, so I am currently crushing on Spike today. Well, there you go. All right, let's do this, because we could just keep going without taking a break, and that I think people would not be happy with us. So why don't we do this? Let's take our break, folks. If you're in the comments section, please don't leave us. We'll be back in a couple minutes here, but we have to take our break. We'll read more of Question of the Week or anything else that's on your mind. It's going to be a lot of fun here. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Twin Cities Con returns to the Minneapolis Convention Center for the 4th year, November 8th through 10th. Twin Cities Con is a celebration of comics, toys, TV, film, art, cosplay, games, and all things nerdy. There is nothing like Twin Cities Con. It's also a family-friendly event where you can meet your favorite celebrities, browse the vendor hall and artist alley for the coolest merch, watch celebrity Q&As, and even more. Twin Cities Con is bigger and better than ever before. Come see from Star Wars the Emperor himself, Ian McDermott, along with Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen, John DiMaggio, who is Bender from Futurama, WWE Hall of Fame wrestler Sting, and Sunday only Grant Gustin from The Flash and Glee, plus more guests to be announced. 3 days of action-packed fun is in the heart of Minneapolis at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Tickets start at $40. Kids tickets are just $8 for the entire weekend. VIP tickets also available, including a 3-day weekend pass, plus some really cool VIP perks. Buy your tickets and get more information at TwinCitiesCon.com. Gritty Gear Company is a great place to go for clothing that is fun and expressive. But did you know we also do custom orders on demand? We've worked with all types of companies and organizations, from first responders to even a certain radio station. Our team is here to help you look amazing. Our clothing is of the highest quality, and you will love your logo on the finished product. We are a locally owned small business who simply wants you to look great. Find out more at grittygearcompany.com.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on metamorphosisconnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And it is Casual Friday as we ease into the weekend. Before I forget, join us Monday on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun. I'm going to have on Dr. Bill Brendel. He wrote the book, The Cryptids and Monsters of North Carolina. We're going to be talking about this book. We're going to be talking about North Carolina. It's going to be a fantastic conversation, and we got him pretty quickly. The book just came out, so I'm really excited to hear what he has to say. It's a live show, so if you have any questions, be on hand to put them in the comments or whatever, and we're going to do so. Now, I also forgot, and it just makes me laugh that I forgot this, and thank you, Adam, for reminding me about this, is that we forgot to give away the tickets that we've been talking about all week, so we're going to do that right now. Folks, we're giving away tickets for the Curse of the Vampire Orchestra, which they're performing a live accompaniment to the classic film Nosferatu, a symphony of horror from 1922. Once again, the orchestra's conductor, Philip Shorey, composed the music played by the group. Through this fresh score, the film is reinterpreted with Shorey's use of classical orchestral instrumentation, industrial percussion, electronica, and full choir. This is going to be at the Women's Club, and that's going to be October 25th. Tickets are, if there's any left, they're very hard to come by. We have a pair of tickets that we want to give away right now. To get tickets for October 25th, you got to call in 952-946-6205. Give us a call, 952-946-6205. Let Adam know that you want them, and give him information such as email address and phone number, and then we'll be able to get back in touch with you about how to get those tickets on that night. So please give us a call and do that right now. We're going to move on with the show. Annette says, though, that it's not for her because the drive is too far. She is not in Minnesota. So there's that. So once again, folks, call in 952-946-6205. In the comments, Jill says, loving the vampire topic. One of my ultimate faves to talk about. Great show. Really appreciate that, Jill. Before we get too deep into it, I want to say one of my favorites, and Jill will know this firsthand, is Salem's Lot, the 1979 miniseries that has an indelible scar. Let's just call it what it is, a scar on me. I was 4 years old, and for some reason my parents said that this would be okay to watch. I don't think they realized, first of all, it's not horrific, but it's scary. It's just good scary material. And the Barlow, who is the main vampire, who's the big vampire, very much in the form of Nosferatu from 1922. Just incredible. Really some great scare moments. You've seen that one, haven't you, Adam?
I saw it on VHS. My mother's boyfriend at the time, I think I was like 6, maybe 7, decided to throw it in the VCR.
Yeah, good choice.
And you know what? In one of the first movies my aunt had rented when she first got a VCR was Lost Boys. So vampire movies have always kind of been in my youth. And I absolutely loved David Soul in that movie. It was so good.
Well, it's back in the day, it was a 2-night event in 1979 on CBS. And for anyone who's ever watched it, because I don't think it's out there as the 2-parter. I think it's now like 1 3-hour movie. The first part ends as Danny Glick, who is one that was taken, became a vampire. I think his brother actually bit him. He's in his coffin in the cemetery, and Mike, who is the custodian of the cemetery, he just jumps down on the coffin, and he's like, just feels the need to open it up, and there is Danny just laying there with his eyes open with a vampire glow in his eyes, and all of a sudden he just steps up, and and that's the end of that first part. And my sister and I just screamed. I mean, it was just horrible. I mean, it was just like great scare. It was a great scare.
So was this back-to-back nights, or did you have to wait a whole nother week to see the conclusion when it initially aired?
I want to say that it was a Friday and Saturday night.
Right.
If I recall correctly, it was a Friday and Saturday night. Let's see here. Deb and Dave said, funny story. I was 9 and talked my mom into taking me to Bram Stoker's Dracula. You're 9 when that? Okay. And 15 minutes in, she was done, and we went across the hall to Home Alone 2.
Between the two, even at the age of 9, which now I'm dating myself, I think I'm about 5 years older than that, I would have stayed at Dracula.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
However, Home Alone 2 did have Tim Curry in it for like 10 minutes. So there was the one plus to that.
So with Dracula, that was my dad's favorite film, was the 1993 Dracula with Gary Oldman. He really loved it. Annette said when I was talking about Salem's Lot, she's like, you're dating yourself. No, just looking on me on the screen, that's dating myself. That's how that works.
Believe me, I'm not as gray as it looks. So
yeah, no, I was believing I am. And here's the thing, I actually want to take away the gray in my beard, and then people are just going to be like, you just want to look younger. And I'm just like, no, I just don't like the gray. I don't like the look of it. I really don't. It's kind of, I look like I'm like my beard's lit from under my chin or something. It's just, I don't like it. So
I'm personally fearing when my hair back here gets long enough to donate to Wigs for Kids, that when I shave my head, it's all going to come back like white.
Well, that's your problem. So anyway,
but I will refuse the diet. So
you got to love yourself, right?
You do.
Anyway. Let's see here. Going back to our question of the week, and the question of the week is: vampires have been in books, films, musical, folklore, etc. Who's your favorite vampire? And if it is Dracula, who's your favorite person who ever played him? And so we got some. Nick says Bela Lugosi as classic Dracula. Now, here's something. I don't know if you know, because I didn't realize this literally until today, and I looked it up because I saw it somewhere. How old do you think Bela Lugosi was when he played Dracula in 1931?
He was only in his late 30s.
He was 48.
Okay, he was his late 40s.
Isn't that something?
Well, with the drug addiction, it made him definitely look a lot older than he was.
Well, I thought he looked young in Dracula. You know, I mean, comparatively to never have seen him in anything else. I mean, apart from stuff afterwards. I mean, it just seems
fair. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it just was like, oh wow, because it's like, well, and so he was 73 when he died. And yeah, I mean, the heroin does not help in any possible way. One of the great movies about Bela Lugosi is Ed Wood. Fantastic.
I know I bashed them earlier, but that is the one Tim Burton movie I like.
That's true. Yeah, no, I
love that flick.
It is fantastic. Martin Landau as Bela Lugosi is outstanding. Let alone everyone else who's in there, just incredible. So yeah, that's so if you haven't seen that, folks, that's one to see. Let's see here. Robin is with you. Tom Cruise as Lestat. And we got another one from Jenny for Gary Oldman, who was truly stunning as Dracula. Lisa says Nosferatu is my favorite. However, Christopher Lee as Dracula is a close second. I would agree. Mark, who has appeared in some films in the UK, he says the one on Sesame Street. And before you say that he doesn't count, I can assure you that he does. Thank you.
I'm just glad, at least the comments that I saw, nobody put the sparkly vampires from Twilight in.
I'm surprised by that too. I really am.
Because those movies were insane. I guess those books sold like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, no, they are something I just have not had any interest in. Doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not something I'm interested in. Another Greg, the third Greg we talk about tonight, he said Max Schreck as Nosferatu. So that'd be the 1922 version. Chuck says Count Duckula as voiced by Only Fools and Horses actor David Jason. That's a British television reference, but for those of you who are in the know, David Jason did the voice of the other animated series Danger Mouse, which is another favorite of mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love Danger Mouse. That's
right
good
on.
Stuff. Let's see. Carla just posts a picture of George Hamilton.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, brilliant. That's a poll. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
that's a poll. That's a good one.
Let's see. Nicole says Count Orlok from Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, The Tale of Midnight Madness. He came out of the screen at movie theater from a black and white film to attack children. I can get behind that. I really can.
Just attacking anyone or just attacking children?
Let's just say anyone. Just quite frankly, it's just okay. Here we go. Melanie, The Lost Boys. All the actors were good that played vampires in this movie. It's my favorite vampire movie. Let's see. Tracy says Count Bricken. Do you know who Count Bricken is?
No, I do not.
Okay. That makes two of us. She also said Salem's Lot, our high school friend Ron Scribner plays one of the Glick boys. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, well, Tracy, can we get him on? My gosh, that's like made my day, which is already made fabulous from being on this program with all of you. Let's see here. Michelle says Bela Lugosi as Dracula in 1931. Gary Oldman is a very close second. Bonnie also says Bela Lugosi for classic. For more modern would be Dark Shadows, Barnabas Collins. Dan says Luke Evans and Dracula Untold. I also like Nina Dobrev in Vampire Diaries. Now, here's something. Diana says that she liked Lestat. She also liked Armand. But she said, and I don't know if you've ever seen this, the BBC series from probably about 5-6 years ago, Dracula. from 2020, I guess it is, with a different type from BBC John Heffernan. I've seen it. It's really good, created by Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat, who also did Sherlock.
Okay.
And it's a very different take, and but it's well worth taking a look at. At one time, it used to be on Netflix. They had it for a while. Bruce says Lily Munster. That's a great take.
That's a good one.
And then Linda says Lon Chaney Jr. played Dracula, and he looked a lot like Perry Mason. And I was like, I don't remember that. And I looked it up, and I think it's the son of Dracula that he was in. So looking like Perry Mason, I guess.
He did kind of have the old Ironsides look in that.
He did. Let's see here. Jane says, always enjoy your discussion, stories, and guests, Greg. Thank you. That's very kind, Janet. I really appreciate it. Listen, then Jill says, what about the main vamp from The Strain? That show, they were kind of scary vamps, was a good sci-fi show. I'm not familiar with it, but you know what? It did make me think of Fright Night with Roddy McDowell.
Oh my goodness. That one totally slipped my mind. Yes.
Right.
Fright Night was great.
Fright Night's amazing. I know that there's been other Fright Nights, but that one was really incredible. So
yeah, it was. And no Leslie Nielsen from Dracula Dead and Loving It.
there was none. I mean, what's going on there? It's a shame. It truly is a shame. So once again, folks, as we're wrapping up, and thank you. We didn't even get to half the answers. So really, thank you. And maybe we'll take a look at a later date at the rest of them. But once again, come out and join me on Sunday, the 20th at Winona from 11 to 5 at Signature Restaurants in Winona. And don't forget, go see Refined Divine tomorrow in Hudson. Rooted Holistic Healing and Wellness Fair. That's going to be over at the Hudson Middle School on Carmichael Road. Go to let's see, Garden of Eden Medium on Facebook to get all the details on that. We're out of time, Adam, but everyone, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. We'll be back talking about cryptids on Monday. Take care, everybody.
It's Brad Friedman, host of the Bradcast, weeknight